Good evening, everybody. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. And we're about 21 minutes late, 21 minutes after 11, but we're here. Welcome to the show. Everybody, hey, sprites, everybody coming in here. Venus, love, Venus K. Love, Crypto Chick, let's see, Terry Highland, all the people coming in here. You're watching the number one spiritual UFO talk show on social media. Right here. Right now. Dreamers Paranormal, hello, good to see you. User 839. Everybody that's coming in here, welcome to another edition. And we had a great show last night. And our shows are on. That show has not been downloaded on YouTube yet. That show will be downloaded. But welcome to the show. Good to have you with us. Catherine Johnson, good to see you. Everybody coming in here. Angie Lamb, good to see you, Angie Lamb. Cheryl Barron, good to see you, sister. Vicky Dukeman. Alfredo, good to see you, brother. Construction GI, welcome. Romanian Prince, that's a good name. Valletta, welcome to the show. You're watching Encounters, we're just getting started here. And we did get a new gallon of apple cider, so we're good to go. We are definitely a full glass of apple cider tonight. And we will hopefully have another great show. UFO Goddess, welcome. Thank you for the roses, UFO Goddess. We appreciate it. Thank you very much for all those roses. And I have to set my goals up here. Also, we have our Cash App on Venmo. So you can actually, also, I don't mention it much, but my Cash App on my main profile page, link is for Venmo. You can make donations on my Venmo anytime you wish. Or do the TikTok gifting. That's fine too. Hey, Hope, the love, user 115. Everybody coming in here. Good to have you with us. And we'll see who's on tonight. I know before I came on, it seemed like a fairly quiet evening. So we're going to kind of bring things up to a very exciting, interactive discussion of different things with guests. If you've had visitations, hey, Len, if you've actually had visitations by space people, if you've seen fairies or mer people or Bigfoot or, had any of these things happen on the cosmic level, we'd love to hear your stories. You have to have, it used to be 100 people following you to go on live, but I found out last night I had someone with 50 people on and they're able to go live. That's pretty wild. So it's either 50 or 100. I don't know anymore. I can't keep up with it. Hey, thank you for the heart. Heart me, thank you. And it's good to see everybody out here. Good to see all the folks. Hey, River Blues, good to see you. And hey, Carrie79, hope you're doing well. Good to see you always. Jesse Kuntz 13, Katie, Shelly, Shellbell. Hey, Shellbell, good to see you as well. Hey, Dazed, welcome to the show, Dazed. And let's see here. Had to find you tonight. You weren't on my FYP like usual. That's interesting. We're doing pretty good. We're doing good here. Ryland's World, welcome from Virginia. Good to have you with us. And for new people, hey, no problem, Dazed. Hey, True, thank you for the heart me. If you're just, finding this show for the first time, you're in to watch a show that is really a professional spiritual UFO show. I'm a radio show host. Thank you, Dazed. On WESU for 21 years in Connecticut on NPR Pacific Radio with Ashtar Command Radio for 21 years, also known as the Cosmic Eye. I do that show 11:30 to 1 Sundays. And hey, Alicia, good to see you. Starlight, welcome. And things on this show start getting amped up as the night goes on. We usually will amp up as the night goes on to over 200 plus people watching the program. And I have a big late night crowd from all over the place, so it's pretty amazing. People are actually awake. But I have to understand, depending where they are, they would be awake, you know? Hey, Susan Mary, good to see you, Susan. Thank you for the follows, everybody. KG Hayes, welcome. Gabriella, Juan, Ray True Colors, thank you for all the gifts. Everybody that's out here. And we're going to hopefully have some really interesting discussions. Alabama UFO Ghost, good to see you. Susan Mary, thank you for the roses. And you're watching Encounters, and it's really early yet. We don't, we're just getting started, kind of. POW. Rudy Mon. Thomas Burgess, welcome to the show. Tahar River Blue. See, when I get the hat, which is one of my main... I love that hat for some reason. I don't know why it's so addicting with the mustache. But whenever I get the hat, I have to say that word. So, you never know. But you're watching Encounters, a show that's here to bust the Matrix. And we do bust the Matrix. Susan Beach, thank you for the heart me. We bust the Matrix every time, anytime we can. The busting Matrix is also a person's belief system. RN Nurse, good to see you. And UFO Goddess, thank you for the roses. Let me see here. Thank you, Dave. And this person, Ion, the whatever, the Ion person, can you tell me what you wish to talk about? I need to know. So if you're going to be a guest on the show, one of the things I love to do, thank you for the Tiny Deanie. I need to know, number one, you're over 18. Number two, what you're going to talk about related to the whole cosmic galactic area. That's what we focus on. No paranormal discussion. You have to be over 18, like I said. No foul language. No smoking. No drinking. No smoking. No drinking. Yeah. No drugs. All that stuff. The thing is, we run a professional show here. So yeah. Hey, Pittsburgh. Good to see you. I heard the quest last night and had a similar experience. Ryland's World. You heard the guest last night. Can you tell me what your experience was, Ryland's World? Love from Ira. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Yes, I knew it was guest. So, Ryland, you might be a guest on the show. Tell us a little bit about what it is that you had an experience with, and they might just pop you up. Your experience was in 2015. Okay, let's see here. Thank you for all the follows, people. We appreciate it. And it's good to see everybody here. Raven Zen, welcome. I saw you doing your DJing thing earlier. I was just scanning TikTok and saw you jamming out with music. I had sleep paralysis, could see me. New Orleans. Ryland, we're going to bring you up here. We're going to bring you up as a guest. That's enough information for me to bring you up. I appreciate that. It's going to be apple cider. We got a new gallon of it. So our first guest is Ryland's World. And
Hello.
What's your first name? Hello, welcome to the show. What's your first name?
Tammy.
Tammy, correct?
Yes.
Hey, nice to have you with us on Encounters. And give us a background. You said 2015 is when this happened.
Yes.
Had you, before 2015, had you had any encounters or been abducted at all by ETs?
No, never.
Never, ever.
Never.
Okay.
And there was, when I woke up, I couldn't move my body, and there was a being in my face. Sometimes people tell you, I've told people about it before, and they tell me that it was like sleep paralysis and it's a phenomenon that happens and you see like an old hag, but it wasn't an old hag. It was some sort of being that was not human. I can't describe it to you. I couldn't even make up features. It was like it was featureless.
Okay.
But um it I remember laying there for a long time. I was very scared. There was no peaceful. It was a very scary feeling.
Hmm.
And I got up and went was when it was over with, it was just like it was just over with just as quickly as it began. It was just over with.
Like
And
a blink of an eye, yeah.
I went to the bathroom and got some water, and I remember telling my mom, I was actually visiting New Orleans with my mom, and I woke her up and I was like, the weirdest thing just happened. And then she, of course, did not believe me and thought I was dreaming or whatever. And nothing like that has ever happened again. But your guest last night, it reminded me of it because he said he had sleep paralysis.
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
absolutely.
wow, that happened to me.
Yeah. Well, that was obviously you had been you're definitely abducted. You might not remember all of the abduction experiences and that other guest triggered you last night that you were watching and listening to. I mean, in a sense, it's good it was triggered because now you remember at least some of what happened to yourself. And you say the being itself. Um, as I listen to stories, I kind of read into things, hopefully a little bit more to help you. You said it happened so quickly, and then it was gone. Correct?
Correct. It
So I
felt
think,
like it felt like when I couldn't move and I was scared, that felt like an eternity, but I really
mhm,
feel like it was only a couple minutes.
yeah. So did you feel, or I mean, obviously it was an abduction. It was something where you couldn't do anything. You were like there. And did they do anything, the being or anything? Was there any interaction, or what did they do?
I just remember I could see the silhouette and I felt like they were hovering above my body.
Hmm.
And then at some point I was moved over to my left side because when I was released or when my body was able to move, I was on my left side.
Hmm. And when you basically were released from being paralyzed from doing anything.
Yes.
You didn't see them do any like I know one of our guests talked about how they were using um, metal devices or something on their body that wasn't being done to you.
No. No,
No.
I don't remember anything like that. The only thing I remember was the paralysis, the not being able to move, seeing this being in front of me, not being able to communicate, not being able to speak to it. There was um no thoughts in my head from this being. It was not communicating with me at all. Like I was just scared and
Mm.
couldn't move.
Hmm.
And then when I was released and let go, like I said, the first thing I did was get up and went to the bathroom because it was like jumping out of the bed, but then I'm in a hotel room and, well, where are you going to go? So
Right. Where are you
I
going to
went to the
go?
bathroom and then got some water and, just me wrestling around in the room with my mom. And I told her what happened and she dismissed it.
She did. Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes someone's asking, did they probe you? You didn't have any probing by the extraterrestrial being, correct?
Not that I know of.
Uh, but did you feel like when it happened, um, what were you feeling of the energy at that time? Obviously, that's pretty
Fear.
dramatic. For that you had fear. Okay, so there was fear. Um, Now, since 2015 and 2024, for all these years past that, have you had any other things happen since that has happened? And with the ET level. And,
No,
and,
I can't think of anything
mhm, mhm.
that mm-mm.
So they did this. They did the abduction, and then they left, and they haven't contacted you since they abducted you.
No, not that I know of.
Well, in a sense, that's good. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think you want to be abducted again.
No. I mean, I it. to me, like I wasn't even sure that I actually was abducted because it, like I said, it felt like an eternity. This being in front of me and didn't feel like they were just staring at me. I mean, it was
Hmm.
literal fear. I didn't know what their intentions were, what its intentions were. If I
Yeah.
was if I was just hallucinating,
Hmm.
if, and because so many people, when you go on the web and then you start researching and looking at this, so many people said it's just a natural phenomenon of sleep paralysis. I think I actually believe that until, like you said, your guest last night triggered those memories.
Yeah. See, I take it from a different perspective. I've been in this thing for a lot of years. I've never been on the side of being abducted. I've always had positive experiences because I come from coming from off planet. I came from the Ashtar Command, as I told people before. We operate in the Christed frequency of light, so I don't have those experiences, but I do know people like yourself have had them, and there are a number of people on my show who've had them that we've had to help, and you've seen that happen where we had to take time after hearing their story to help them to make sure they never have it again. So
Mm-hmm.
all the naysayers that say you weren't abducted, they really don't know what they're talking about. They have no knowledge of what this is about. They have no knowledge of what it feels like. They haven't experienced it. So how could they even know you've never been abducted? They don't, in truth, right? They don't know.
Right.
It's funny when people tend to try to walk in someone else's shoes but can't fit into the shoes. And the reason I say that because you have your own shoes that you've walked in and you've experienced, but there'll be 10 other people say, well, I can walk in your shoes too and tell you didn't have that experience. No, they can't because they didn't have the experience. So how could they tell you didn't have the experience? I love when
Right.
people do that to people. That's been going on for years that people do
That's
that.
true.
And
That's very
you
true.
know, so I always tell people, if you're not in my shoes, don't try to be in my shoes because you didn't have the experience. So unless they can come up with something of their own experience, great. But if someone else has the experience being abducted or whatever, then don't try to downplay the person's experience because you have not had their experience.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times the reason I've questioned it as well is because I don't have any memories of being lifted up. I don't have any memories of being on a ship. I don't have any other memory but just that fear I had that one night. That's it.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, see, and I can understand how you feel in those situations. It's different, you know. It's not
Yeah.
something. It's not something you asked for. It's not something you expected. It's something that happened to you, and you never know when those things are going to happen, right?
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely interesting. And because you haven't had that experience since 2015, do you feel that you need to have some assistance to make sure it doesn't happen again? And I leave that up to you. You know what I've done here if you've been watching my show.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I would
you
love
know,
that. I would love that. Just in case
we
something was done, like you
hmm
said, like on a molecular level, they can just clear that stuff out. I would love that.
yeah, we can. I can switch over into a different mode of consciousness, and if you like that, I will be happy to do that for you. I will actually send a spaceship over your location. Where are you located?
In Virginia.
In Virginia, okay. So here's what we're going to do, just to make sure that there's no devices or any implants or anything that they did to you when you had that encounter, Tammy.
Okay.
So I want you to close your eyes. It's starting to become like really easy for me to do this. I only started doing this sometime, I think it was last year when I just started being activated this way to help people, and I'm still getting used to it a bit, but it is getting something I'm used to doing. Um, so I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take a deep breath in and then release out of your nostrils. I wish you to do this about 3 or 4 times. And when you're done doing that, clear all your mind out, clear all your thoughts out, and as you're done at the fourth time, let me know that you have done your fourth breathing in and breathing out of your nostrils.
Okay.
Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the Ashtar Command. We're going to send a smaller vessel. It's still big, about 20,000 feet, I'm sorry, above your location in Virginia right now. It'll be there in a nanosecond. And then what we're going to do now for you is we'll send 4 Ashtar Command people in your. Do you have a home? Are you in a home, apartment, condo? What are you living in?
It's a home.
A home. Okay, so we're going to send them to home. Do you have a basement?
Yes.
Okay. So when they come in, I'm going to have them start at the basement to see if there's any energy sitting there on an ET level that shouldn't be there. They're going to clear the energy of the basement first, and then they're going to work up to all the rooms in your house, just to make sure all the energies are swept clean. And as they do that, they're going to transform the energies into Christian energies of light. So each room, the basement included, will be filled with light. Every room's going to be filled with light now. Okay. They haven't even come close to you yet. They're doing this other stuff first. Matter of fact, we'll send one more of the Ashtar Command people, be a total of 5. And right now, as you're sitting down, relax. Take a deep, just relax. They're also going to work on the outer perimeter of your home. They're putting what they call an invisible bubble of protection around you. So your home is now protected permanently. Now they are ready to be in the room with you. They're going to just go slowly. They're cloaked, and they cloak themselves so you can't see them, but you're going to feel them in a minute. As they get closer, you should start to keep your eyes closed. You should start feeling a change in energy in the room. You'll start feeling it actually. Okay, there's 3 women and 2 men from the ship in the room with you. One of the women will come closer to you. Keep your eyes closed, please. How are you feeling right now?
Relaxed.
Okay, good, good. The woman's going to work on your etheric body and your whole cellular structure at the moment. She's going to come close to you. Keep your eyes closed. She's going to touch your neck area, and then she's going to touch the top of your head area, the neck area first, and then she's going to work on the center of energy coming through. She's going to clear the energy out from that experience. When she does that, take a moment, clear your mind, be still, and when you're ready to let me know that she has touched you, let me know that.
I don't feel anything.
Nothing yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay, so I'll be more direct with one of the command people there. Can you please come closer to her, one of the women in the group of 5? Can you please let her know that you are there? Let her know you're there. Please, thank you. However you wish to let her know, let her know.
I feel a vibration.
Yes, yes. You'll feel the vibration. And that's what the other people feel is either a vibration or a touch. So you're feeling the vibrational energy from the Astro Command woman. The vibration is affecting your physical body right now.
It feels like my whole body is vibrating.
Yes, exactly. Little my, I work with the Ashtar Command, which are Christed beings of light. I'm very disciplined in what I do with people, and I know I've been doing this for years, so I do know what I'm doing. Let's see here. So the vibrational pattern's going to elevate the frequencies in your body. You're going to be elevated to much higher patterns of light within your whole cellular structure now. And that's why you're feeling the vibrational patterns of energy.
It's a good feeling. It's like it's lifted depression.
Oh, good. Good. No more depression. That's a good thing. Did you have depression before the experience in 2015?
No, I think it started in 2015.
Right. Okay. Yeah, they took that away. That depression that you're talking about, you'll never be depressed again. That's gone.
That's an amazing gift.
Mm-hmm. No more depression. For people that wonder what I do here, besides being a talk show host of a show, I've been helping a lot of people recently on this show. The Astro Command has actually assisted many people on this show. And everything we do is real. There's no hocus pocus. I work at the highest levels of light, and I'm very disciplined in what I do. Very disciplined. Yeah, they were definitely working with you. They're going to stay with you for about 2 or 3 days. They're going to also make sure their permanent energy of light is surrounding your house, your yard, everything in your area will be protected. And you, of course. You are Boo Boo. Who are these people? That they're my brothers and sisters. They're the star people of the Ashtar Command. They're men and women that look just like you. They are very highly advanced in spiritual levels of light. And I came from Mars to Earth. I work with the Astro Command, which are the galactic beings of light from many planetary systems, Boo Boo. So even though I am having the human experience, I've been activated where I can do these kinds of things that I'm doing on my show right now. I don't have crystal balls, no pendulums, no cards floating in there, no neon signs lit up. Everything I do is real. Am I in contact with God? I think we all are. Everything's connected to God, not just me. Everybody is. Everyone's connected. How are you feeling right now?
I'm very relaxed. I think I could sleep well.
I think you're going to sleep very well.
Thank you.
And you're very welcome. And I want you to say this. I did this with everyone that I've helped. This will strengthen your light energy within you. Say, I'm a Christed being of light. And when I use that word, folks, I'm not using it in 3D religious terms. I'm using it in cosmic terms, which is way different. So I just want to make that clarification. So just say, I am a Christed being of light.
I am a Christed being of light.
And you'll say that 3 times. I am a Christed being of light.
I'm a Christed being of light. I'm a Christed being of light. I'm a Christed being of light.
Beautiful. And now you're going to say, never again will any negative ETs be able to come into my. Let me just reword this. Wait a minute. I will never again allow negative ETs to come into my home or into my vibrational frequency.
I will never again allow negative ETs to come into my home or my vibrational
Vibrational frequency.
frequency.
Frequency. There you go. Now, after you said that, you've now committed yourself to being a strong person, a strong human being, a spiritual enlight. Your light shines now. The command is working with you. The five people that are there, they're going to work with you. They're working on your DNA encodements, on the cellular structure of your physical body. And from now on, you'll never, ever have any negative ET experiences in your dream state or in your awakened state. It's not going to be happening ever again.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I want to thank you for being here. That's my gift to you tonight, for sharing that story of what happened to you. And I hope you have a blessed evening and join us. Stick with us. Hey, James, good to see you, brother.
I will. Thanks again.
Okay, everybody. Tammy, we're glad to have you on the show, and we appreciate your story.
Thank you.
Excuse me. And I'm going to drink some more apple cider here because I've got the apple cider. And we're glad to have everybody here. And that was our first guest. And, it's just been that kind of a thing the last week or so. I've helped people that have had these experiences, and it's a beautiful thing to help them, That's part of the mission work we do. Hey, Johnny, good to see you. Good to see you, brother. And we do interviews here on the show. If you're new to our show, I'm the host of WESU FM's NPR Pacifica show every Sunday morning, The Cosmic Eye. So welcome all the new people. As you watch the show, you're going to learn a lot here, and you'll be addicted to the program for sure. If you're over 18, you can be interviewed. You have to have, I think, 50 or 100 people following you to go on audio. And if you're over 800 people, you can go on. Good, Lacey. You can come on video live as well. So you have to be over 18, no cursing, no drugs, no drinking, no smoking, and no paranormal discussion. That's what it is. That's the thing. Hey, Ruby. Welcome to the show, Ruby. Oh, Hope. I have been through it just like her. Then once hasn't happened for a long time. That's good it hasn't happened. I see Miles likes you. Oh yes, thank you. Yes, Miles is good. I like Miles. He's doing some good stuff. Hey, Hectic Loving, welcome to the show. Jim Sundwell. Young Skywalker, welcome, Warrior. So, for those that have a story to tell, don't be afraid to tell it here. I'm a contactee from the 60s, and I've been on this journey for a long time. So, you'll never get knocked down on the show. Hey, Forgiving. Good to see you. James Rockefeller, Starseed. James, you have a question about Starseed areas? I think there's a question there. Little Mai, I've also had contact. I'm a Starseed. I'm reading people's comments here. Boo says, can you tell me if the world we live on is a round planet or a tabletop? I don't get into that whole discussion and argument, but I can tell you all the planets in our solar system are oval or round. There are no flat planets. Oh, you're asking me if I'm a starseed? Yeah, I would definitely say that without a question. Yeah, so James, I am a starseed. Basically, that means that when I came to Earth, I had human parents, so I was seeded with a human family, and that's my definition of that. And then, of course, before I was a starseed, I was working with the Astro Command on the ships, and also being from Mars, which is a planet of 10 to 15 million inhabitants. UU589, being with the Astro Command, I would describe it as the most beautiful thing in the world. The Astro Command represents many peaceful spiritual planetary systems that are operating in the highest light of love unconditionally, and represents many planetary systems of light. You're welcome, Boo Boo. Kelly Must says, okay, I understand. Any suggestions? Kelly Must. Shogun Love, how did you find out you were different? I was already different before I came to Earth because I came from off planet. I just realized that as soon as I started having abilities and I had my first encounter with a spaceship when I was a kid, hey Quasar, the ship appeared in the cul-de-sac, and I looked out my brother's room window and I saw men, women, and children in light blue spacesuits telling me I wasn't from Earth. And that's how I knew. That was my first situation. Uh-oh. User says, Commander, I got a tattoo today of you on my back. Really? You got a tattoo of me on your back? Now that's a first. That is a first for the show. I have never heard of someone doing that. That's that. I think that's you're in the skin tight suit with the goatee. Man, I usually says like, oh, you have many compliments. You got many compliments. I will say thank you. I didn't expect someone would get me a tattoo on their back. That's interesting. I don't know if that would be a good thing, being that it's TikTok. I don't want to get into trouble here. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you're a huge fan of the show. Thank you so much. This is, oh, you're very welcome, user. Thank you. That is a first. For all the times I've been on here, I never expected somebody to get a tattoo of me on their back. Thank you, Star Runner. Wolfgang, like the Galactic War. You know, it came out great. It cost you spend $1,500 to have a tattoo of me on your back. $1,500. It would be so cool to see it. Um, Jesus 1,500. So once you get up to enough people to show it, you're not up to enough followers. I'll take the chance and let you come on and show it. Um, yeah, that's expensive, but I know nothing about that. Um, let me see how many followers you have here. Yeah, you have 25 followers. I'm going to follow you now as a friend there. But we have to get you up to like 800 followers, I think it is. So once we get you up high enough, I'll have you on here show the tattoo. Definitely. I can, yeah, Lisa, I can be at two places now. Oh man. All right. What else is going to happen? Maybe somebody from Hollywood says, Commander, we want to do an interview in Hollywood about you. If that ever happens, I might take it up as long as I can tell my story and tell the truth. You know? Yes, people are thanking you. Many, many, many thank yous for you, user. You're a blessing. Thank you. And you didn't even have to do that, to be a huge fan. But the fact that you did that, I didn't know you did that. Thank you. Oh, thank you. We appreciate you wanting to raise awareness to the show. Thank you so much. Mary Ellen, thank you for the gifts. Thank you, Mary Ellen. All the roses, thank you. And if you wish to be a guest on the show, you have to be over 18. Also, no paranormal discussion, no cursing, um, no drinking, no drugs, no smoking, all that stuff. No, no. So as long as you follow the protocol of the program, we'd love to hear from people that have had visitations, people that have been seeing Bigfoots or mer people or the fairies. Any of those things are part of what we want to see or hear. Um, RN Nurse, thank you for the team bracelet. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody out there. You're all a blessing. Man, compared to last night, tonight's kind of slow for guest interviews. I don't know why it is. I heard Bigfoot is a gentle creature and he's very playful. Yes, that would be true. I know April is really good on that. April has her contact with the Bigfoots, and they're working with the Ashtar Command, and it's a beautiful thing. And it's weird. And it's weird. April's TikTok says she's online, but I tried to see earlier if she was live, and I didn't see her anywhere. So she might be on the spaceship. April could be off planet tonight. I have a feeling about it. I could be completely wrong about this, but she might be off planet on the ship. We'll know in a little bit later. Oh, of an elf. Okay, you saw her on live. She was showing a picture of an elf. Okay. Oh, she is live. Okay. Oh, very good. Very good. Well, she's definitely helping educate people about what's happening, which is really important. She's dancing with the fairies. Is she dancing with music? Is there music playing in her live right now? Sam Brown says, "How do we interact with other entities?" Well, you don't just interact with entities. You want to be focused and interact with the star people, the space people of light. Just you want to not just open your door up to any entities. You want to be very specific about what you're doing. Commander is asking a question about fallen angels crossing the line. Who's asking the question about fallen angels? Oh, she started right after me. That's a good. Okay, she's in a shop. She's in a shop. Okay. She is on a ship. No, she's not on a ship. She is in Vermont, but she has been on our ship of the Ashtar Command about over 25 times. And I got somebody here. Let's see. Oh, Roar. I think Roar Vagista. Let me see. Roar Vagista. Let me see who Roar Vagista is. I don't want to mispronounce your name on Encounters. Hi, welcome to our program, Encounters. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Good, good. And how do you pronounce your name? Is it
Hello.
Roviganitz Petal? Okay, Petal, I'll go with that. And tell
Yeah,
us, whereabouts Petal are you located on the planet?
I'm here in Massachusetts,
Oh,
U.S.
Massachusetts. Okay, so we're in Connecticut. Nice to meet you. And
Nice
tell
to meet
us, yes, and tell us, the show is about spiritual UFO things, encounters, visitations, disclosure. So, can you give some background of what your story is, and what happened to you, or what you
you. Yeah.
experienced?
So my first encounter happened 6 plus years ago. Um, I was so, and you are someone who can maybe confirm it, right? Because you
Yes.
can tap into this stuff. So,
Yes.
I had three spaceships in my backyard, and they were they came telling me they were Pleiadians and that they were family. So that was my first contact.
Mm-hmm.
And
And what year was that when you had the contact with the Palladians?
2017, I believe it was.
2017, and that was in Massachusetts, correct?
Correct, yes.
Where you live, when you had the encounter with the spaceships and the Palladians, was it an open field area, or do you live in a more remote part of Massachusetts?
Yeah, so where I live in the back, we have the high teas, and it's very private. So even though I
Okay.
have neighbors, my backyard, and it happened very late at night. So they came, I would say it was between one, like 12 and 1,
Yeah.
like late at night.
Late at night.
Um,
Okay.
so basically, I had been exposed to a lot of different not leaders, but people who were spiritually inclined, and they were sharing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I had been like already, I was starting to wake up, but I wasn't to the point where, this kind of stuff would be okay with me. Like when I
Right.
had that first contact, I
Right.
was scared. Like I was
You
scared.
you were scared, and that
I
was the
was
contact.
scared.
Is it because you never had a contact with the Palladians before?
No, but yeah, because this is what happened, right? We have always heard, like as a human, we have always heard about abductions,
Oh,
alien
okay.
abductions and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it was so new. All the whole thing was so new. So the idea of anybody being out there, the first thought was, I don't want to be abducted. Like I don't want nobody
Right.
coming to
Right.
get me.
Of
Do you see
course,
what I'm
because
saying?
you've heard
Because
about that in news media. You've heard about it on
right,
documentaries.
and I had
That's all you've
watched the
heard. You know.
documentary, right? So my first thought was, oh no, I am not. But the thing was, my telepathy was already up, awake, right?
Yeah.
So when I saw them, they were hovering in the backyard, close enough for me to see the light. They were like four lights: red, white, gold, and blue. And they were
Hmm.
hovering on the same spot. Three spaceships, like three different, just right there in the backyard, in my tree line. And I'm saying in my mind, "You're not here for me," and I'm getting the reply, "Yes, we are." And I'm
Oh
like, "Who
wow.
are you?" And they're like, "Pleiadians." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like I was like, "I'm
Oh
sorry."
yeah.
I'm
Yeah. I know.
sorry.
Yeah. I had to let you know. Watch the language of that. But
Yeah,
go
I know.
ahead.
I'm so sorry. But anyway, so yeah, so it was. They stayed. They stayed there all night, and I was freaking out. I couldn't sleep.
So you tell me the Palladian spaceships stayed with you all night? They didn't go anywhere else?
No, they didn't. They hovered out there, and I could see them from my bed because my bedroom has big, huge picture windows,
Okay.
right? So I'm in my bed and I can see them right there, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't sleep. I was freaking out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I reached out to a couple people who were able to, who are more advanced than I was, and I
Yeah.
was like, can you connect and find out who these beings are and
Hmm.
what are they doing here, right? Anyway, the next day in my tree line was a orange orb.
An orange orb.
Lower in the tree line, lower. Okay, so in the middle of a tree was an orb, orange orb. The
How big
size,
was the? How? Yeah. I was gonna say, how big is it?
it was the size of like a baby watermelon. You know how
Okay.
a baby watermelon is, like the individual
Yeah.
ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, about that size from where I could see it. And I could see it from my kitchen window and from my daughter's room, which is on the left side of the house. And again, I was freaked out. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, what is going on,
Right. I mean, this little stuff is happening to you. The orb, the Palladian
Right.
spaceships,
So this happened. It continuously they came. Okay, every night they came.
continuously.
And yeah, they came every night and they would be out there and I could see them. They'll be blinking those lights at me when I was looking, because they knew I was watching, obviously, and they were
Hmm.
telepathically communicating with me. But I was
Yeah.
refusing to accept it because for me, I was just like, what is going on? Like, why? Why me? And what the heck?
Right.
Okay, so somebody confirmed for me that they were Pleiadians and they were calling me their princess and that they were family.
So they were saying that you're part of their cosmic family,
Right, exactly. So
but
this is what.
you didn't know you were part of a cosmic family beyond your own biological family on Earth. You didn't know you had a cosmic family, did you?
No, I didn't because I have not been like I was completely okay. So I have not. I was a Hindu, a devout Hindu up till
Okay.
that. So when they came, they told me first thing was stop praying, stop following it, right? They're like, you do not pray to anyone,
Yeah.
right? So they like disconnected me from the religion part of it. They said stop doing that.
Oh, good.
And, and a lot of things started changing because they were trying to get me into being who I was, right? I mean, I was not accepting what they were saying because for me, being
It
brought up.
it went against all your 3D religious and other belief systems, correct?
Yes, yes, the doctrination, right? You're a
Right.
human, you're lesser than the God. You
Right.
have to look at God as like the biggest thing out there, and you have to be fearful of the God, this kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they come and they tell you, oh no, you are a creator and you don't need to pray to anyone, I'm
Right.
thinking to myself, what are you telling me? Like, why would I believe that?
Right.
I'm a human. Like, I'm just a human. What are you turning me into, right?
Right.
Anyway, but then I couldn't deny the stuff that was going on, like the
Mm-hmm.
stuff I
Mm-hmm.
could do,
Yeah.
the stuff that I could instantly heal people, and
So when did that happen? Because this is you're a very interesting person. So you were they activating you or teaching you how to be activated when they were there?
I don't know what they were doing, but I'll say this. So let's just say this, okay? I had a past life regression done with somebody, right? Because I
Yeah.
was at the time trying to figure out how to make my marriage, like my marriage with my ex. We are not
Right.
together now. But at the time, I'd watched a bunch of past life regressions, and I was like, okay, maybe if I find out what I did in the past life, then
Right.
maybe we can fix the marriage, right?
Right.
So I had this woman that I know do a past life regression for me,
Mm-hmm.
and that past life regression is on YouTube right now. Has been for that long, 6 years,
Wow. 6 years.
or
Okay.
yeah, about that time, right? Anyway, she does the past life regression. Before I did the past life regression, I'd asked for a timeline merge, right?
Yeah.
So that past life regression ended up being something that at the time I could not, I did not connect the dots, right?
Right.
Because I show up as a lion, then I think it was Yeshua, then is Gaia, then is Creator Source, then is Shiv Parvati, right? Like this is
Mm-hmm.
how it happened.
Right.
So all of these beings are coming up, and yes, I'm being told it's me, but I'm not connecting myself to that, right?
Right.
So I was so mad. I was like, you know what? I didn't find out my past lives. I don't know how to fix this marriage.
Right.
The heck just happened for an hour and whatever time it was, right?
Right.
Anyway, so I decided I'm gonna do my own past lives.
And
I'm gonna
how
do
did
my
you
own past life regression.
how did you do that?
So I found this. on YouTube, I found this gentleman who does past life regressions meditation,
Yeah.
right? And I said, okay, I'm gonna just put the thing on and I'm gonna lay down and I'm gonna let it do whatever it does, right?
Right. Right.
Anyway, so I am laying down, I go in a trance, right? You go into like a hypnosis state or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing I get shown is I'm this warrior. And every time I'd ask, who am I? And they're like, ISIS. And I'm like, okay. And then the next one, the same past life regression, the next one was I get pulled. And I'm like, and then we are dancing, me and whoever pulled me, right? So I'm like, who am I? And they're like, Sati. And it was Shiva. So then the next thing they show me, because Sati was his first wife, right?
Right.
So then I'm on Kailash. Kailash is where the home of Shiva is.
Yeah.
So this is Everest, Mount Everest in India and
On
China.
Everest. Yeah.
So I'm on Mount Everest, and there's a beautiful. It's beautiful. It's all flowers, really pretty place. And there's a tree, a really big giant tree, and around the tree, in India they have this thing where they build like a sitting area around the
Yeah.
tree.
Yeah.
So that's how it was. And there was an altar, and there was flowers. There was a plate with laddus. Laddus is like it's like a sweet, right?
Okay.
That Ganesha loves that sweet, right?
Right.
Anyway, so Ganesha is there. He's a baby. I'm there. Parvati. Now this is another version of me. Not Sati. Sati who actually died, and then Parvati was born, and Parvati was with Shiva. Anyway, so Parvati is there, Shiva is there, Ganesha is there, and then Nandi, his bull, is there, and Ganas, which is the people. Like
Now
there was a
was
bunch of
now was
us,
it
right?
was this in a reality state or a dream state?
No, this was my past life regression. I actually experienced
From the
it
past
real.
life regression. I got you. Okay. Good.
Yeah, like real, right?
Yeah.
So Ganesha fed me a laddu and had me carry him because he was a baby, right? And then they showed me around Kailash. They showed me the entire place, right? Now I'm Indian, okay? I was born in India. So for me, this is what I've grown up with. Knowing the history of, because this is Hinduism, right? It's part of that history.
Right. That earth-based religion. Yeah.
Right, the earth-based religion. So I kind of know some of the story. I shouldn't say I know all of
Right.
it. Anyway, so this is what happened, right? So I'm like writing things down. I'm journaling because I'm like, I don't want to forget this stuff. Anyway, the next 2-3 days I did the past life regressions
Yeah.
continuously. Because now I'm curious. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is going on, right? So next one was a cowherd boy in India. That's Krishna, because Krishna was a cowherd boy. Then I'm in a gold palace and I'm looking for someone.
Wow.
And the gold palace, right? I can hear someone giggling, but I don't see him.
Right.
But I'm looking for him. There's a throne, big pillars throne.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it comes to me and I'm like, Krishna. So I'm his wife Rukmani, and we are in a gold palace, which is what Dwarka was. Dwarka was where we lived, right? It's where Dwarka was made of gold, basically.
Oh, made of gold. Okay.
It was all gold, right? It was made of gold. So the palace was made of gold. Anyway, so that happened, and then the one with ISIS, I was also shown that I was in Greece, and I was helping people. like there was a drought or something had happened, and I was helping feed people, like giving them like grains
Yeah,
and stuff like
yeah,
this.
yeah, things like that.
Yeah. So there was like a bunch of different past lives. Like I was in one of the past lives was a wedding ceremony,
Mm,
and that ceremony was I was the princess, and in those days the women picked their husbands.
hmm
This is how it was because it was matriarchy, right?
So this is all happening in the hypnotic regression.
Yes, in
So,
my past life regression, right?
and with the Palladians, what did the now we went from the Palladians, the three ships that were with you for a long time. And how did they play into all this with your Earth-based story? Very interesting.
No, so this is why I'm trying to connect this for you so you can
Yeah,
understand what happened.
yeah, of
Anyway,
course.
so these the past life regressions were bringing the ascended masters or the gods we have known
Yeah,
on this earth, right?
yeah,
So these Pleiadians who came, when I did the past life regressions, now it was like I was connecting to, and remember I asked for a timeline merge.
yeah. You want a timeline merge?
My
Yeah.
timeline, so my other timelines merged into this body.
Wow.
When that happened, because I'm a divine feminine being, the counterparts showed up,
Mm-hmm.
right? The opposite showed up,
Mm-hmm.
and especially because I did the past life regression as well.
Right.
So, see, as I'm sitting on the table with my mother and my sister, and I'm excited about these past life regressions I'm doing. And I'm so excited. I'm like, oh, Shiva came in my past life, right? Regression. Like I was like, Shiva's connected with me, right?
Yeah.
And it was that excitement, right? And I'm feeling the energy of this being next to me. I can feel the energies, right?
Yeah.
So I'm telepathically able to communicate, and this energetic being that's with me, I can feel the energy. Very powerful energy, right?
When you say energetic being, was this this is part of the past life regression?
No, no, no. This was now we are like okay. So after the past life regression thing happened, my mom and my sister were with me, right? So I
Okay.
was so excited. I wanted to tell them what had happened, right? So we're sitting on the table, on the dining table, and I'm telling them, Mom, Shiva is connected with me, right? Because remember, he pulled me and he danced with me. Then he showed me Kailash, right? So for me, it was like, wow, this is so cool, right? So
Yeah.
I'm telling this to my mother, and the way we say it with respect, you say Shivji, because I've always seen him as a father figure, as a god, because
Hmm.
this is how we pray to them, right?
Right.
So
And
I'm telling them,
you're talking from the background of the Hindu religion, correct?
yes, yes.
Okay.
So
Just to
I'm
let people know
telling
we're
Right. So I'm telling them that Shivji connected with me and he's next to me. I can feel his energy. He's so powerful. And he's so mad at me. He's so mad at me. He's like, stop calling me that. And I'm like, what am I calling you? Right? And he didn't want me to call him Shivji because it's like I said, it's like a fatherly, respectful way of saying somebody, like his name, right? Because this is how we have always prayed to him as the father of creation or the father of whatever, right?
right.
Anyway, so he was getting mad at me because I was calling him Shivji. So I said, what do you want me to call you? He said, Shiva. I said, okay. And he said, you're my wife. You cannot call me that. Okay, so of course, I did not admit to that. I did not accept it because I was like, I'm a human. There's no way possible that
Right.
I
So
could do that.
you're thinking you're human,
Yeah,
but
I'm thinking, what are you saying? Like, I'm just a human. What are you talking about, right? But I can feel him. I can feel his energy. I can kind of see with my third eye because my third eye was also open, right? So I'm just like, what the heck, right? But anyway, so with him came another bunch of the opposite of me, basically. Whatever timelines I had merged
Hmm.
were of the goddesses of the past life ascended masters, basically. So this
Yeah,
is how my journey started.
yeah, that's how it started.
It took me
Now what?
4 years to accept it.
Now when your journey started, when did the contact with the Palladians happen?
Right there and that was it.
That
The
was
Palladians showed up, and this everything all at once happened. It was like
so.
within days, like a week of like each other. No, no, within a week, all of this happened. So it was like they showed up. I was getting confirmation, and then this stuff happened. So everything just happened, and I was like, "Oh my
Yeah,
goodness! Like what
it's
the
a,
heck?"
it's a yeah. You're
It's a
trying to
lot,
figure out. So the
right?
Palladians again. What year was the Palladians visiting you? The three ships.
26. I think it was 2016 or 27. I think it was
Okay.
27.
Now, since that time when you were interacting with the Palladians, which is phenomenal, have you had any constant communications telepathically with them at times, or no?
Oh my goodness, yes. I'm like completely open.
All
You
right.
can
So
tap into me if you want.
with the Palladians, what have they told you since that year? I mean, obviously, you're like you can communicate telepathically. Have they told you anything since their visit with you physically in 2016?
So I have, okay, what they've told me is that I'm here because I'm here to claim my creation back. Okay. So basically, you know how they inverted the matrix and made a mess on this earth.
Hmm.
I'm here to heal and to take back what is mine. As a
Hmm.
divine feminine being, so
Now,
everybody who's come here as light beings, right? We are all
right.
here as creator beings, and we are come here to take our creation back, basically.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. You know, I heal people for
Wow.
free. I align them to their higher self. I wake them up. You know, I literally can remove all entities, energies, negative things, whatever the heck is attached to you. I can get rid of addictions. I can heal you from
Well, that's now
dis-ease or
was did that activation happen when you met the Palladians?
this is how it's been from day one. When they came,
From
they
day
just
one.
told me there's nobody bigger than you. This is how they talk to me. There's nobody bigger than you, and you're the mother. So when they
And
said that, my
yeah,
my see, when you hear something like that, the first thought is, what a mess has been created on this earth. So it hit me hard
yeah,
because my first thing was guilt. Like, how did I allow this to occur?
right, right.
But what they also clarified to me was that you have nothing to do with it, right?
You really don't.
Because it was a inversion that trapped both the mother and the father in it.
Mhm.
So neither the divine feminine or the divine masculine father, and I'm specifically saying the father because from what I have as my knowing
Hmm.
is that this is done by the son of the mother and father.
Hmm.
Okay,
So, so where
it
do you like? Let's just take a little moment to just mention this is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show host. I'm Commander Alion, and we have Patel with me in Massachusetts. She had been visited by Palladians with three spaceships, and she's also your. I believe you're telepathic. You can communicate through consciousness, correct?
yes.
So, have you now the Palladians who told you you're part of their family? Have you met the Palladians that you're connected with? Have physically met them?
Yes. So after I was contacted, and I knew who they were, I
Yeah.
was brought to several different planets. I was brought to different lands. I was picked up in spaceships, and I was taken in spaceships.
You
I
were
was
physically, let me slow you down a little bit. This is interesting. You were physically taken in a Palladian spaceship. Did they land in your backyard? How
no,
did that
so,
happen?
no, not physically. Listen to me. So it was like being in trance. Okay, so basically you hear the ship coming. It's like a grinding noise. If anybody has ever had this happen, they'll know what I'm talking about. It's like a big grinding machine, Anyway, so I can visually see. You know, your third eye, when it's open, it becomes like a TV screen, right? And for me, when they took me, I can physically feel the beings. So, say they give me a hug, right? I can feel that. When they visit me, like I've had visitations from lions and other like animals. They literally come and surround me. They sit around me.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my
Interesting.
family. I've swum with the biggest whales. I don't even know if they're whales. I mean, this things, the ocean was so big and so deep. Okay, but I had no fear of it. And
Hmm.
these the animals, I mean, the life in the water.
Yeah.
The whales we have like look like babies next to them.
Hmm.
Okay, I've swum in water like that. I have swum with dolphins that have, you know, the mandala patterns in Avatar, the second movie.
Yeah, I watched the Avatar movies.
You watched it, right? You know how the whales had the patterns on them.
Yeah.
Those dolphins had those patterns, and the dolphins' colors were like, you know, the ocean blue green.
The
They were
ocean blue
that
green.
color. You know
Yeah.
how the ocean's water is blue green?
Yeah. Depending where you live in the Earth, I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
so that's the color the dolphins were. Like that color and
Hmm.
like a blue, another blue color, blue shade. Okay,
Blue shade.
one was a blue green, and another one was like a blue, a really pretty blue, and they had the mandala patterns all over them. And they were
Wow.
we were swimming together, and there was one that was regular, like the gray dolphin that we see, and
Hmm.
my ex is usually with me in a lot of this stuff, so I know that he's a very powerful being. So I would like to connect with you after. I want to see
Okay.
if you can help, okay, with something. But anyway, so basically, I have been brought to ancestral lands. I've been brought to like other places,
Hmm.
and I have connected with these people and these beings. Oh man, it's like I can't explain the connection. It is,
I can understand what you're saying.
yeah, it is a very very strong connection that
Hmm.
I feel like is very hard to cut off from.
No, you can't. I mean, you went from, and I'll kind of like put it in a nutshell. You went from being a Hindu into a religious background, which makes sense because that's the life that you knew, and then
Yeah.
things start changing. You start seeing the Palladian spaceships there with you for a number of nights or whatever it might be or days, and then they are connecting with you and telling, and they're showing you you're connected with the Palladians beyond everything else you're talking about. You have a connection with the Palladian beings from beyond Earth,
Yes.
you know, and you
Yeah.
actually will eventually. You have to make the choice. As I'm listening to your story, I'm getting you have to make the choice with the Palladians as to whether you physically want to go on their ship. Physically meaning not in any other state, but the physical awakened state. Like you and I right now, we're conversing on
Yeah.
encounters. So,
Hmm.
how would you like to go on their ship awake with your eyes open physically?
Yes.
Do you think you think that you're what I'm trying to get at? Do you think you're ready
Ready
for it?
for it? Am I ready for it?
Are you ready for it? I know it's a hey look, whatever.
Yeah, I know. They know. They know. They know. They know. That's why they're
you
asking
know
you to ask that.
yeah, so I would
What
say
am I
to your
ready to see, isn't it?
I would say to your Palladian friends, and the Palladians are part of the Ashtar Command. They work with the Ashtar Command. So
Yeah, that's
if
why.
you're
That's why I got on your
yes,
live because I heard you
so
talk about the Astro Command. I'm like, I need to get
right,
on it.
I'm glad you're here. So I think that now that you are laughing, and I know you're ready to go on their ship, explain to them that you don't want to go in other states of consciousness. You want to go in the waking state of where you are right now, meaning you are willing to meet them in your backyard and let them take you on the spaceship. Just make a date with the Palladian people that you're connected with. You're part of their star family. Say, okay, let's go for real. Let me be awake. I'll go outside in my yard where your ships were, and please take me on the ship. However that works, however they do it, it'll be done in a way that you'll be at peace with it. You'll be able to go on their ship, and you can connect directly with the Palladian people that you're connected with. How would you like to do that?
That would be cool, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of time. I want to do what I'm doing. I'm
You
doing
give it some time. I mean, they
yeah
came to you in 2015, 16.
yeah
I
2017.
think
Yeah,
I think you've been giving it plenty of time. How many years has that been?
you're pushing me, Mister. What is your name? Tell me what your name is.
Commander Alion. And
Aliyah.
I'm half
Okay.
kidding. 2015, and you want to
Aliyah.
give it some time. Some time. On Earth, there's so much time to give, and you have actually used your time in a beautiful way. But now in 2024, since 2015, you have the ability now to actually, make connections with them on a physical level and enjoy a beautiful journey with them if you so choose to do so.
Yes, thank you for letting me know that. Now tell me, how many have you been doing that already, or do you?
I I teach classes in the warmer weather. I've done classes called the Journey Off Planet to the Golden Ship of Light, and those classes that I do, I teach people how to leave their body, and they'll be in a circle in a room, and they leave their body and they go into a Merkaba state where they physically travel beyond Earth. And I've taken people to the Golden Ship of Light, which is as big as the planet Earth. The ship is a living ship, so to speak. There is a space center control, but it's a living
Yeah.
ship, and there's waterfalls. There's everything. It's as big as the Earth. So
Where
when
is
people
this located? Where is this
this is
located?
it's located beyond our universe. It's way beyond our universe, way beyond anything that anybody understands. No
Okay, so tell me
NASA
this.
satellites, nothing.
Okay, so tell me this, because this is where I come from, right? I work with unconditional golden love light only. Okay,
Hmm.
I don't work with anything else, right? This is how
Yeah,
I heal. This is how I protect. This
yeah,
is how I fight the wars. The whole thing, right?
yeah.
Wow. So this is where what you're talking about, the ship of golden love light. That is where I come from, right? So
Well,
this is
the golden ship of light, and this is something that is very important that my dear friend Ashtar Athena, who lives in LA, who I is my cosmic mom. I've known her for many years. She's one of the original contactees from the '60s, and knew all the contactees that are no longer here anymore. But so when I talk about the golden ship of light, which is as big as the Earth, on that ship is where all the galactic council meetings are held of the Ashtar Command on the golden ship of light, and that's also where, as people know, Jesus Christ on the cosmic level, not the 3D Christ, the cosmic Christ. He oversees many of the council meetings within the Ashtar Command
oh,
on the Golden Ship, yes. And when you
interesting.
go on the ship, and when I take people there, like a door that doesn't exist opens up, and as they enter the ship, there are many dignitaries, many space people. They meet their cosmic families on the ship, and they come back. And I make people. I don't make them really do anything. I have them keep a journal when they come back to their bodies. They have to write in their journal what their experience was, because their
Right,
experience is real to them, and it's actually a real experience where they can leave the body physically intact, the heart beating, and they go into a Merkaba state. If you know what a Merkaba is, anybody out there, you know that the Merkaba state is a living vessel of light, that you can become that vessel of light and go beyond Earth and travel. It's like your mini spaceship going to wherever you wish to go, and you're protected in that Merkaba of energy.
now tell me this. So the Merkabah, I understand that as a light body. Is
Yes,
that
it is.
it
It's
is
a
light body?
traveling light. It's a traveling
So
light body. It leaves the physical body, and you create the Merkaba before you leave the planet.
okay, now tell me this. The Metatronic Merkaba, what is that?
I don't know. I've never heard the Metatronic. I just know the Merkaba that I talk about is one that is where you create through consciousness a living vessel for you to travel in, and you leave your physical body.
Okay, so this is what I because I've heard of the Merkaba that is through the Metatronic, and I don't work with that. I don't I don't want no part of that, right? So this
Right, I
is
don't know
why
what that is. The Merkaba that I talk about is totally in
different, right?
a cosmic Christed light frequency.
Okay.
So that's why I don't understand what that other thing is, and probably don't
Yeah,
care.
and good.
But
I'm glad
but
you don't.
the
That's
thing that I deal with takes people into a very high state of consciousness, and their
yeah.
vibrational patterns is the Merkaba that actually takes them out of the physical, body intact, body's protected, heart's beating. The person's just not going to wake up because they now have left the planet through the Merkaba state, and they're able to travel with protection to the golden ship of light. Then they come back from the golden ship of light within 2 hours Earth time, and they keep a journal of what happened.
Perfect. That's awesome. So tell me this, since you connect to the who is in command for that? Like who
Of the Ast-
commands that?
who commands the Astro Command, or who commands that?
Is that the Astro Command?
Yes, the Astro Command oversees everything. The Astro Command oversees every single galactic grouping within the universe. So all these different groups that exist, it's the Astro Command that oversees everything. It's almost like a United Nations of planetary systems of light. So if you take all the countries on Earth that belong to what you call a United Nations, I will actually, that's a good point. Um, they represent all the galactic frequencies of light. Now, my good friend April, who's on live now, I'll be signing off at 1 o'clock to jump in and watch her live. She is from off planet too. She's been off planet for 25 times. Her and I work together. There's a group of us you don't know about yet. There's a group of five of us, including April, that in less than a year will be going. April's been the lead person for our group, for our space family. My mother and father are on a spaceship. My two sisters and my brother are on a spaceship, and they are with the what we call the Astro Command. They are human beings, beautiful people, about 7, maybe 8 feet in height.
Yeah, they were very tall.
Yes, they
They were
are.
tall. Yes,
And
eight,
if
seven,
you
eight,
get to know
9 feet.
as you get to know my friend April, she's been, like I said, doing the mission work, going and bringing back stuff to us as on her live, sharing with a lot of people what she can share, and we'll be all gathering at some point where we'll be going on the ships together.
That's awesome. So, um, tell me what is the state of this Earth? As in, we are here to change everything, right? Bring it to a higher consciousness. So where exactly are we in that
Well,
aspect?
if you turn off the TV set and don't watch all the news stations and see all the same things going on and on and on, then you're busting the matrix, and you'll find out that things are way different than what they show you on the negative TV screens of your news channels, no matter where you are in the world. Where we're at now is we're at a point where contact will be happening soon, probably in a year and a half. When I say year and a half Earth time, I mean a year and a half Earth time. You know, there's going to be individual contacts that are happening now for people all over the world. I've had guests on here that have been visited by space people. You're another example. A number of years ago, but even though it was like a number of years ago, you still had visitation. So you now have a connection with the Palladians. You're going to see more and more people actually waking up to having visitations. My camera's gone out. No, my camera's still here. I still can see everybody. And so there's going to be more of those things happening, more of those visitations occurring.
Um, they speak of disclosure, right? I don't want
Disclosure?
I don't want a disclosure on this earth where it could cause panic and chaos. So when you say visitations, are these going to be done in a way where people are not being put in a panic state? Because the
Right.
dark tries to do bullshit,
Well,
and this is what we don't
yeah, but
want.
let's put it this way: the Astro Command is rounding up every negative ET that's been hiding on the planet. That you've probably missed part of those things that we've talked about. but we're rounding up all the negative ETs, the reptilians and others that have been for 70 years causing havoc on the earth with people in the relationship to our governments, which made an agreement with the negative ETs to let them do their thing. They are now being rounded up. I can guarantee you, there won't be any shenanigans or stuff like that going on. Matter of fact, when I say there's going to be contact, there needs to be contact now. The space people, the positive beings of light, have had it with the governments of Earth, especially the United States government, and their lies about the space people. All the lies that have been perpetuated on social media about the space people have been lies perpetuated by networks that have created documentaries selling negative ETs, and that's not the
Right.
majority of what's out there in the universe. So we can't, they're not going to wait any longer to make contact. The government has tried to stop it for over 70 years, the positive ETs, the space people, from making contact with the people of Earth. It's been going
Right.
on for the contact's been going on for years, but if you
Right.
study the contactees of the 50s and 60s, that was the beginning of individual contact, and those people wrote books about their experiences with Venusians, all kinds of beautiful men and women. Now you're going to have major contact. Now, you know, time is up. There's no more time to sit back and say, well, people aren't ready for it. The whole thing with my show is people are ready for it. People have been lied to for too long on this earth, and people are
Yeah.
ready for contact. There's not going to be any. We're not going to sit here and say no. We're not going to let you have contact. I'm going to be the first one out there to say we're going to have contact. You better get yourself together as a human being. Get ready for it. Do your deal. Get your spiritual cosmic self together, and there's going to be contact.
Right. See, I just wanna, because there's so many beings that I heal, and I have this. They have entities and attachments and all kinds of stuff, and they're fighting these negative things, and I am powerful enough to get rid of them. To destroy them and to detach them from these beings.
Oh, that's
So for me,
good.
the reason I'm asking this is because I want to make sure that, you see, humanity, there's many who are not awake yet, right? Yes, we are waking up. Yes, there's many light beings, and yes, everyone is becoming aware pretty much that what they know and what the truth is very different, right? So that's a positive thing for humanity. But there's still a lot of people who are on the fence with this whole idea of, this is why a lot of beings who are awake, they get called crazy by their own family members.
But you know what?
You
You
get
know
made
what,
fun of
Patel?
them, right?
But 30 years ago, that was more prevalent, the people being called crazy. The reason why the majority of people in the world are more accepting of this now than they were 30 years ago, even though the Pentagon lies to the public in the United States about this whole thing, and they have their own UFO organization, the Pentagon, that allowed people, even though they still lie about what they know, the people say, oh, the Pentagon knows about these UFOs, these UAPs. They know about that there's something going on there. NASA lies through their teeth, but they will have a gathering just to make it look good about what they don't know. What they do know, they don't tell. So the thing is, you have to say to yourself, if we're going to wait and say, let's just wait a couple more years, 10 more years, maybe 20 years we'll do, until all of the billions of people are awake, can't do it. There's no time left to do it.
We
It
can't
has
wait for everyone to wake up. That's for sure. The only thing with this is this, right? Okay, so this is my knowing. Okay, and I don't follow, like, I follow people, but I don't follow anybody's way of thinking
right.
or anybody's way of, like, what they know or channeling. I don't channel.
That's right.
I tell
Right.
people
Good.
not to channel because there are all kinds of bullshit entities will come through, right?
Right.
Especially if you're telepathically awake, you're
Right.
gonna get a lot of nonsense come through. So I
A
don't
lot of
channel.
it. Good for you. Good for
Everything
you.
that I know is coming from my knowing, waking up within me. So I have allowed
Mm-hmm.
me to remember
Right.
things, and then
That's
I
right.
share it. So for
That's right.
me, and I don't know if it's okay for me to talk about this or not, but I will just say this. What I have as understanding is this. We have been put in patriarchy for many years, and through the patriarchy and the white light tunnel, we have been recycled as souls back onto this earth by the dark. Having said that, there is also in the tunnels beings that were attacking our own race, right? The children, the women, the man, whatever, right? So I know a lot of work has been done in the tunnels. I have been in the tunnels. I've seen what the heck they were doing. I know that probably the Astro Command is part of that cleanup, the mess that was happening down there. I don't know to what extent we have cleaned, because I know last year when Ukraine, or was it this year? I'm trying to remember. I think it was last year when they were talking about Ukraine. That was when they were cleaning up the tunnels there. Parts of the earth where stuff might still be going on. Some of those tunnels are not easy to access, right? So all this stuff like that's been happening. Also, what I have knowing of is also that this earth is all the dimensions pretty much. There's a lot of layers to this earth, right? So just like there's dark beings underground, there's also light beings underground, right?
But also the one thing to understand though is the Ashtar Command is knows where all those beings are, and right now as we speak, they are cleaning house on the planet, and they're going to be taking on reconstructed ships off planet. They have gathering grounds, what they've set up around the that are people to know about that exist, and they're taking them right off the planet.
And that's what I want, that they get rid of all
Oh,
of
they're
this
doing it.
being,
Oh, they're doing it right
right?
now. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Um, but see, the thing is this. So my third eye is open, but they don't allow me to see. Okay, they control what I see. Right. This is why I'm asking you, because you have
Who's
probably.
who's controlling what you? Who's controlling Patel what you see?
So let me just say this. Okay, I feel
Hmm.
like the beings who came, right? They are, it's like a protection thing. It's not a
Oh,
bad thing,
okay.
it's a good thing, because they have a, okay, so I went through a, there was a period I went through where I was in the tunnels. I experienced a lot of these beings, the kids, especially the children who didn't make it.
Hmm.
My job and what I am able to do is to send these souls that are lost or have not gone home back to create a source, send them back, right? But what happens is the trauma, it comes out through me. So I disconnect all of these beings from their trauma, and it releases from me as the being I am. So I went through 3 days where I was crying. The entire 3 days I was a mess. And I actually felt, and I even said to them, I I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack because of how much it hurt and hit me, right? Because it was really, really hard when you connect with these kids who are looking for parents. They're not aware that they're not alive anymore.
Now, so let me stop you there for just a
I'm
minute.
trying to.
Right. So I want to because I think we're kind of getting into paranormal with past lives. I try to stay away from that. You didn't know this, but we want to stay more on the cosmic galactics. I mean, it's very interesting, but I'm trying to stay more in the cosmic levels of discussion with us, with you and me. You know.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. I totally get it. This is why I said I'm not sure if you're okay with this, what I'm
Right.
gonna say. But but that's okay. So, anyway, so coming from where I've come from and what I do, my intention is always that no harm comes to any part of creation because of
Mm-hmm.
what is
Mm-hmm.
being done. Okay, the
Mm-hmm.
idea is that we should get to a state of unity, right? Because that is what's needed. The separation, the division, the
Yeah.
constant making us judge each other and do all this harm to each other is what we're trying to get away from, right?
Right.
So I always question, like, yes, you are part of the Astro Command. The ones I have contact with probably are part of that as well, right? but I have to be 100% sure within myself that yes, what I'm connecting to is where I've come from, which is unconditional golden love light, is creator
Right.
source,
Oh,
right?
that's really for a lot of people who watch this show and people that are around the world that might not have TikTok. A lot of light workers, they want to be sure whoever they are, the millions and millions of them, they also probably are in that same boat where they want to make sure whoever they're connecting with, they are of that unconditional love. And if they're not, I always tell people, if you're really a light worker, you won't be a contradiction. Like for example, you have to always walk the walk and not just talk the talk. Now, a person can have a beautiful cover, you know, and they have this really nice cover, but then when you go deeper into it, you open the book of the cover, and that light isn't shining as bright as it supposedly says it is.
Right.
And so, yeah, a lot of people are aware, and a lot of people are, like you said, a lot of people are, you have to use discernment. A lot of times in my journey, discernment is always a big factor over the years in my light work with the command, ever since I became old enough to realize who I was and why I'm here.
Right. So, so you said you guide people and bring them to the command ship. Is that correct? That
Yes, through a thing called the Journey to the Golden Ships of Light. I've been doing that for a couple of years now, and I do that in-person workshops. And people have had real experiences. They come back in a Merkaba state with Christ and beings of light that protect them. Their bodies are protected when they leave, and when they come back, they remember everything that occurred on the Golden Ship of Light every time.
all right. So I'll trust you to bring me there. How about that?
If I do another workshop, which I will as we get into warmer weather, you can come to one of my workshops and experience exactly what I talk about. Absolutely,
Yeah.
you're definitely
No,
welcome.
not perfect. That's
All right, well, Patel, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for allowing me on your panel.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
absolutely.
I appreciate it.
No, you've been a great
I
guest.
actually
We've
have a
been
platform. This is actually my vegan and raw vegan TikTok. I actually have a
oh,
platform on TikTok where I do my spiritual work. So it's actually on this TikTok if you go and you see it. But its creator is Panel Cabral, uh, creator source or source I am, something like that.
hmm,
I forget my own,
interesting.
but yeah, uh, creator source I am, something like that. Or I am
Okay.
creator source. Yeah, so you can find me there. I've actually watched you from that one as well as this one. I'm
Oh,
trying to
great.
connect
Thank you.
them, because I'm trying to get people to
Well,
kind of connect.
you've actually found the top UFO spiritual talk show on social media.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
was brought here. That means so guided
Yeah.
to be come to you. Yes,
We're
and I'm
glad to have you
perfectly
on,
fine with
Patel.
that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very much.
All right, many blessings and light to you, and thank you for being a guest on the show. It was a pleasure.
I appreciate it. You want to drop me?
Yeah, we'll drop you. We'll drop you gently off the
Thank
spaceship.
you. I appreciate it.
All right, there we go. That was a good interview. Thank you, Patel. That was a blast. Thank you, Patel. We appreciate it. Patel, up in Massachusetts. Palladian Contact, 3 spaceships, 2015. Pretty cool. And everyone has a storyline that gets them to where they are. And it's very interesting the dynamics of how this show will be. If you missed it, we'll have this show on my YouTube channel. We'll be putting it on YouTube. And welcome to the show. This is Encounters. I'm your host, Commander Alian. We do have a couple more hats with mustaches on the shelf that are sitting there. And hey, Deborah, good to see you. So we're glad to have everybody here. And we're going to do some more interviews, maybe. Ah, Gertha, I saw the visitors. Gertha was on the show. Gertha, when did you see the visitors? Gertha, when did you see the visitors? Hey, Jen, welcome to the show. Hey, Global Leon. Tahar RN. Oh, you're welcome, Jen. I'm just reading comments at the moment. When is neck lazy? When is neck lazy? I don't know. When is the neck not lazy? That is the question. April is on. We're going to be switching over. It's now about 1:01. I want to thank everyone for joining me. I'm going to definitely hang out with April for a little bit because I have a feeling she's going off planet. I have this. I mean, if she's dancing and they're dancing with her, I know she's going off planet. Oh, yeah, I'll have to definitely take a look at that. I want to thank everybody for being here. I've got to watch April before she goes off the planet because I do think she's going to go off planet tonight. All right, that's my Friends with Fairies 1111. If you want to join me there, I'm going to be switching there now. Everybody, we love you all. Have a great night. Thanks for being on the show. And everybody, like everybody, follow everybody. I don't care if I only have 36,000 on here tonight in terms of likes. No big deal. We'll do with 100,000 tomorrow night. Grand Rising, everybody. Good love to you. I'm going to go to Friendship with Fairies 1111. Join me there, and we're going to watch as she's dancing. And I think she's going back on the ship. All right. Take care, everybody.